25 races in, and now only 7 races remain here in the Herr Sprint Series for 2024. Yet one of those races still left on the calendar is here today at the world-famous Indianapolis Motor Speedway. One of the biggest races of the season for these drivers in the Herr Sprint Series, an extended-length race, 20 laps around this 2.5-mile speedway for 50 miles here today. And an opportunity to win at the greatest racetrack in the world presents itself here tonight for Sprint Series Night in America from Indianapolis. It's the Indy 200 here in the Herr Sprint Series 2024. Hello everybody, this is AG here and welcome to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's Brickyard 400 weekend. And hey, we've already had a lot of fun just up the road at the Indianapolis Raceway Park with the Winner's Showdown last night. What a race that was. We are here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway to continue on the weekend. We are excited to see how it all goes down here in the Sprint Series and subsequently at the Brickyard 400 on Saturday. Turn alongside Matt Tuck as usual for the call of today's event. And Matt, you're in that race on Saturday for the Brickyard 400. Obviously the chase on the line, the championship on the line for you guys. What are you looking for in this race here tonight that you are going to take into Saturday's race for the Brickyard 400 here in the Wawa Cup Series?
Well, it should be a very exciting race here tonight as usual here at Indy. Track position, always, I feel like we say it a lot, but especially in these sprint races and then a track like this, track position always comes into king here at a place like Indianapolis, and I think it will once again tonight. It will be fun to see how it plays out.
Of course, track position was very much the case on Monday night for these guys at the Indianapolis Raceway Park. And we saw Corey Case in that number 99 lead every single lap to get that race victory. And because of that, he comes into this race only 28 points behind our points leader, Juan Romero. Nathan Faden also closed in on Romero. He is now only 12 points behind with 7 races left to go. So this championship is still very much wide open as Romero continues to slip back in the points. The good news for him here today, I do believe he starts in the 9th position on the inside lane. And this is, as Matt said, a track where track position means quite a bit. It is difficult to work your way from the back to the front, especially in the stock cars here at Indianapolis. And while this is a bit of a longer race for these guys this season, it's still going to be very hard to do so and make those passes as the day goes along. But here's how they line up in the point standings. After 25 races this season, like I said, only 7 races left to go until we crown a champion at Darlington Raceway on Labor Day weekend. It's Juan Romero leading in the championship by 12 points now over Nathan Faden. Keep in mind, that championship lead was well over 40 points not too long ago. It has definitely closed in, and Nathan Faden, those Trackhouse cars are really fast. You got Nathan Faden and Corey Case back in the 99, 28 points behind. Reggie Fogelman's loving what he's seeing, and Reggie's going to be hoping that Corey stays in that 99 the rest of the season. We'll have to see if that ends up being the case. Brandon Nelson, 42 points behind, and then Chris Reynolds, 54 behind. Dylan Matthews, Santiago Labarita, 58 behind, and then Christian Master Baltazar steep back in there, 71 and 78 behind, respectively. They are probably too far back to really have a shot at this point. And One thing I have to say for this race, this is the first race of the season where Aaron Abel failed to get a ride. I was so happy for him. I was talking so much about how Aaron Abel was so good at signing up each and every week, and he missed one of the biggest races of the season. I feel bad for him. Also, no Alexander Rowe in this race either. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how it ends up shaking out as this race goes along. But we do have guys like Stuart Gratton in the field. Andrew Williams is in this race. Vinny Scholes is back. And we also got a driver who hasn't raced in quite a while on the channel, BB Ruiz, who's going to be an owner in the Truck Series this coming fall. So excited to see what he can do in the number 13. But they're all going to be led by Corey Case in the number 99, looking to sweep the Indianapolis races this week. Alongside him, it's Matt Black in the 90, who's had a very good run here in his short career in the Wawa in the Herr Sprint Series. Used to be the Wawa Sprint Series. It's still the Herr Sprint Series. You got the 02 machine of Joey Brown, who, mind to tell you, is 12th in points coming into this race. He's been in this is his 22nd race of the season. Doesn't feel like he's been in that many races this season, but here he is, alongside the number 80 machine of Joshua Brown. And we got Stuart Gratton, your guy right there, starting to the inside of Nathan Faden. You got the 96 machine, that is Josh Petty, to the inside of Skylar Taylor. There's Juan Romero to the inside of Leonard Kochmer. In the 4 machine, you got the 57 of Carson Miller and the 69 of Duncan Ward, winner from Chicagoland a couple weeks ago. Chris Reynolds in the 52 alongside the 93 of Eric Monaco. And then we got Anthony McClure and Santiago Labarito, winner from Pocono Raceway a week ago. Christian Master and Baltazar Steep back in there. And then Brandon Nelson and Dylan Matthews, all the drivers who raced on Monday in the IRP race. New drivers for this race in particular, Vinny Schulz is back in the number 50. The 13 is BB Ruiz there for Titan Fury. And then we got the 53 of Andrew Williams and the 25 of Angel Olvera. She is back. She won the opening race of the season at New Smyrna. Made seldom starts this season, but she is back there driving for Dracoan Racing Enterprises. Let's go ahead and give these guys a roll off here from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And we'll go ahead and get these drivers to roll off. Make sure they do, in fact, all roll off so we can get this Indy 200 started here on this Wednesday late evening, late afternoon, whatever you want to call it. It's still bright and sunny here at Indianapolis. And Matt, we got a lot of strong players up front for this one, and it's a big race to win. If you win at Indianapolis, who's going to get it done here today in the Indy 200?
Well, you know,
I know you want to go for it, but you don't want to jinx it.
I can't afford to jinx it. I cannot afford to jinx it. So I will go a row back behind him, and I'll go with that black number 96 for SE Avalon Racing, Josh Petty. We have seen SE Avalon have some tremendous speed this season, and I think Josh Petty, does he have a win this year?
He does. He's got the win at Charlotte earlier this season in the longest race that we had. So this is one of those longer races. So might play in the Josh Petty's favor. Juan Romero also right behind him there in the 87 machine. Of course, this is one of the better starting positions he has had as of late. Only 12 points ahead of Nathan Faden, and Faden is up here, and of course Corey Case. Those are the two main competitors to Romero in this race. How do you think those two drivers are going to fare here in this Indy 200?
Well, I think Romero really needs to just not lose a bunch of time here out the jump of this race, but if you're Faden, you got to get to the bottom of the racetrack. If you are Corey Case, Corey Case just got to drive the absolute wheels off that thing and hope it don't break and try and keep that lead. And I think that's his safest bet today.
We'll have to see what Corey can do in that number 99 machine. Of course, the 90 machine as well of Matt Black has been very strong as of late. And we have had a string of first-time winners. We had a string of first-time winners there. Leonard Kochmer getting a race win, Joey Brown, and of course Duncan Ward. Matt Black kind of fits right in the wheelhouse of those drivers. He could definitely find himself kissing the bricks here today. What a win it would be for your first win if it came at Indianapolis. Here we go. Got the 99 leading us to the green flag, and we are underway at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How about that jump from Corey Case in the number 99, looking to get his 4th win of the season here in the Herr Sprint Series. Oh boy, they're 3 wide already. They got to be careful with that right there. Matt Black in the middle of Joey Brown and Juan Romero, and somehow there was some contact there, and the 90, I think, may have scraped the wall, and somehow they're going to keep it together, but Matt Black's going to fall back tremendously after that skirmish right there. That was close, and that could have been way worse than it was. Stuart Gratton up to second. Josh Petty Juan Romero and the 57 of Carson Miller, the top 5. And here comes Stewart trying to close in on Corey Case for the race lead.
Yeah, Corey Case, this is not the driver who Corey Case wants to see chewing up his rearview mirror. I mean, Case has driven for us a few times this season on the 11, and it's been fantastic, I must say. But the two SE Avalon teammates of Romero and Petty are also moving their way through the field here. Romero's really moving his way through the field, and not for nothing, Nathan Faden in that whole 3 wide almost sent somebody into the catch fence scuffle. Nathan Faden's not even in the camera sight right now, but for the lead, this is going to get heated up very quickly.
And Stuart Gratton was peeking there as Juan Romero knows this is his opportunity to close that gap or extend that gap on Faden. As for the race lead, Stuart Gratton taking it away from Corey Case, and that's exactly what Juan Romero wants to see, because that's going to give Romero an opportunity to take second as well. And this is the first time we have seen Romero in position ahead of his championship rivals in quite some time, and that is not at all what Corey Case or Nathan Faden want to see. How about Anthony McClure in the 05 looking to take that 4th position away? McClure has still yet to be in the hot seat for the Wall Cup Series all season long, and time is running out for him as we only have ourselves 7 races left to go in the season. Juan Romero is now trying to close in on Stuart Gratton as Gratton leads this race in the 64. Carson Miller, Anthony McClure, Christian Master, and Corey Case is slipping back in the 99.
Yeah, this is a complete disaster for Trackhouse Racing. We don't even see Faden on the screen right now. Corey Case lost the lead, and he's just continuing to pummel down the order. But up front, it's the 64 Gratton, the 87 Romero, the 57 of Olvera. This is some heavy hitters coming to the front of this field here to play here today in Indianapolis. We always love to see these big drivers come and show out here in these big time races, and this is arguably, this is not the biggest race of the season, but this is the biggest track to come race at, and this is going to be a showdown here as Romero's already up on the back bumper of the 64.
And of course, Juan Romero, we know how strong of a driver he is. Of course, 3 wins on the year, yet he has not won since South Boston all the way back at the end of March. It has been a long time since Romero has gone the victory lane, and it's going to be made a little harder as Carson Miller peeks to the inside for second, and Romero way up the racetrack off the exit of 2, trying to get the run up there to keep that 57 behind him. That is the case for now. And how about this 05 of Anthony McClure? A really strong run for the Triad Racing cars in this race. Joey Brown also with another strong run. Joey Brown's had a great season, and as of late has been driving that 02 for Triad Racing. Skylar Taylor's up here. You got a battle between Chris Reynolds looking to the inside of Josh Petty for position. Leonard Kochmer there, and then Corey Case finally settled in position down in what appears to be the 10th position now. He still has a lot of time to move his way through the field. This is a longer race, 20 laps here at Indianapolis, and we're only on lap number 6 here in this Indy 200. Nathan Faden, by the way, has slipped all the way back to 21st in this race. Not at all the position he needs to be in. And poor old Vinny Scholl, she's all the way at the back of the field, currently running last here in Indianapolis. But they're led by Stuart Gratton as the top 5 are all on each other, looking a lot like IRP over the past couple of days, with those guys just on each other but unable to make the moves up front.
Well, we've seen a lot here over the years. This is a heavy momentum-based racetrack, which means you really need to get the timing of your run down just right, and you need to be able to carry a lot of momentum, and we're going to see that with the 87 Romero to the inside. He's going to put Gratton to the outside, and he's going to take that whole trade of cars, and I think Stewart's probably going to have to duck back in 5th, but don't look now, because here comes that 57 of Olvera, who is definitely going to get a big old
57 is
draft.
Carson Miller for this race.
Oh, my bad.
Now, Angel Olvera won the opener in this 57, so you know there's some speed in that Andrews Racing car. But Carson Miller looking for his first career win on the channel. Same with Anthony McClure. These two guys, Christian Master and Stuart Gratton, probably combined for over 30 wins. And then you got Romero, who has won 3 times this year, who currently leads the field. And that's a very important bonus point as well for Romero, leading that lap. Of course, Corey Case also got a point for leading a lap, but he is struggling a little bit further back in the field than he would have liked. And that 99 machine trying to find some way back up front, but he's got a huge gap between him and the lead pack. Pretty much the entire field now single file. Of course, Matt Black did not get off to a good start in this race, and he continues to fall back, and Nathan Faden is in the last position with his championship rival leading the race. And if that ends up being the case, it's going to swing right back to being about a 40-point lead going into our next race at Road America. And we got 2 road courses coming up. So that fastest lap is very important for next week's race. And Matt Black currently has that fastest lap with Romero down in 13th. So going to be fascinating to see how it ends up shaking out. But you definitely want to get a good lap here, considering the next 2 races are road courses, and we know how those road course races can go. Carson Miller looking to find some way around this 87 of Juan Romero for the race lead, and Anthony McClure has an opportunity of winning this race, but he's got 2 of the best drivers to grace the channel right behind him in Christian Master and Stuart Gratton. But Stuart mentioned a week ago how it's been 5 years since he's last won a race on the channel. I think he was saying 2018. It's been a long time for him. We're going to have to see if he has an opportunity here today. That's why he's running these Sprint Series races. He wants to go back to victory lane as a driver. I know that is the goal for him. And he had a huge opportunity. He still has a huge opportunity to get it done here today at Indianapolis.
Oh, he definitely has an opportunity. I mean, Ladovic's done a great job with these Intersys racing machines this season. 64 has been competitive multiple times, and we've seen Baltazar Steep, even though he's fallen off in the championship fight, he still has had some very fast cars at times. But I mean, want to talk about something that I always find fascinating about Indy. You don't come to Indy thinking this turns into a drafting track, but take a look at how far back 6th place is of that O2 machine. They gap the pack. Even though they're not really racing each other too much right now, like, they get in a line and you can just say adios to a significant amount of cars here. I mean, this top 5, unless there's a caution...
Oh my goodness, that was close. Anthony McClure, I mean, he probably had a better angle of that than we did, but it almost looked like that 05 was going to clear Carson Miller into the wall. Oh my, that was tight.
Oh boy here. Well, Anthony McClure, you were saying, Anthony McClure, as long as he doesn't drop out of this pack, 64 Stuart Gratton can't get in the hot seat. Anthony McClure, all he's got to do to go cup racing Saturday is finish inside of this top 5, and he's going to go cup racing Sunday or Saturday. So that's, regardless, as long as he gets this top 5 here and stays in this lead draft, that's a win in and of itself for him, and very happy for him.
Yeah, we're going to have to see if he can hold on to it, maybe get that 11. Of course, Juan Romero currently holds on to that spot right now for the Nicholas San Medeo-owned team. And we'll have to see if Romero can actually pull away here from Anthony McClure. Of course, when you make a pass like that, you do tend to lose a little bit of speed, and that's why these guys have pulled away, because they have generally kept it single file, which has given them the advantage on the second pack. And here we go. For 6, that's Chris Reynolds making a move on Joey Brown, and that is not good for Joey Brown. He's going to get stuck in that outside lane, and he may fall all the way to the back of this pack right here. It's very interesting how it works here in Indianapolis with the stock cars, and I am very intrigued to see what Sunday's real-life Brickyard 400 is going to be like with the next-gen car. I'm not anticipating the greatest race ever, but it's definitely going to be unique seeing the stock cars back on the oval here in Indianapolis. I am very much looking forward to it. This is my favorite racetrack in the world. As someone who has attended the Indy 500 the past 3 years, there is no better racetrack, in my opinion, than this one. The way it is kept up, the way it races, the way it looks, it is certainly a sight to behold, and absolutely love coming here, regardless if it's the Indy 250 or the Brickyard 400 here on the channel. Of course, we're excited for Saturday's race, but we've got a good one here in the Sprint Series, and we're about to have our 4th different leader, because Anthony McClure is coming in that 05, trying to find some way around Romero for this race lead, but Christian Master and Stuart Gratton are right here as well, and they are going to have a say in this fight here in this Indy 200. It's 6.5 laps to go here, actually, yeah, 6.5. No, 7.5 laps to go, excuse me. And Master looking for second on McClure, as McClure could not get the nose to the inside of the 87, and Master looking to take that second spot away. This is a driver who has not won this season yet. Christian Master trying to get his first win of the season.
Yeah, Master just absolutely sent it on the 05 there. This is where you're the 05. You just got to recollect there and get back into the draft here, because an opportunity still going to present itself. The 87 Romero's going to get a little bit of a buffer, but here comes Gratton in the 64. He's up to second, and we saw early in this race he definitely has a very strong car, so don't count him out of this just yet. this is going to be interesting now because they're going to have to regroup this momentum in the draft and chase down the 87 of Romero. And we're going to see how much Romero wants to be throwing the blocks on the line here. But they've continued to build the gap on this second pack, too. Corey Case has settled down there, but I mean, it's going to be very, very, very tough for any of these guys to draft their way. Nathan Faden, man, oh man.
It's such a good opportunity, a good race at IRP to get him in position to really close that championship in, and now look at how it's gone for him as they're 3 wide in the back right there. Oh my goodness, they've got to be careful here not to cause a wreck as they go 3 wide across the line for the last position. Nathan Faden, Brandon Nelson, Joey Brown. Oh boy, that was tight, but they're going to get out of it somehow. That was very fascinating stuff there from the back of the field. And hello, Stuart Gratton's right there in the back bumper of Juan Romero, and this time he doesn't have someone behind to get to the inside of him. That was what happened to McClure when Master tried to make a move for second, and that is what sent him back as Master and Carson Miller battle for the 4th position. However, Gratton was unable to get to that 87, got in that dirty air, and that's going to allow McClure to close back in for this lead battle. And here we go, 5 laps to go here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for Juan Romero and SC Avalon Racing. Will Romero get his 4th win of the season? Will Gratton get his 1st win in 5 years? Will Anthony McClure finally make a cup race? So many great storylines up front here in Indianapolis, and what a place to do it at. Well, there's no better place to do it at than the Brickyard. Here we go with 5 laps to go for Juan Romero.
This is going to be the hardest 5 laps of Romero's season, and obviously it is worth mentioning he does not need to throw it all on the line here.
Here we go.
The fact he's going to finish
Gratton to
third
the inside. And
Oh,
Romero's going to be really wide off the exit, and Gratton's going to have an O's going in the turn 4. The big question is, will Romero have the advantage on the outside? Oh boy, it's going to be tight coming across the line. It's going to be up to McClure on who he helps right here. Romero's going to hold the outside lane for now, and Gratton was unable to make the move. So 4 laps to go here at Indianapolis. And Gratton's going to have to reel it back in unless McClure tries to make a move on him, but he's going to hold on to second for now. Tire wear coming into effect here at Indianapolis. Gratton's got another shot. A huge run to the inside going in the turn number 2. Just not enough momentum to make the pass going into the corner. It's going to be a lot harder now than it was earlier on in the race, the way these tires have worn out. But Gratton knows he has an opportunity to win this thing. It's just going to come down to whether McClure wants to help him or not.
I mean, if you're McClure, I mean, it's worth noting if you can chase down, get around Gratton and then get around Romero, you're going to go race the 11 car on Saturday, which is definitely the best of the open cars.
Or he can push the 64 to race victory finish second, and he'll still be in the 11. And hey, you're pushing the guy who owns that 11, so maybe you want to do that for a good ride on Saturday. 3 laps to go. Romero trying to pull away now from Stuart Gratton. That may have been Gratton's opportunity to make the pass, and he may not have enough stuff to get it, but we're going to have to see here. McClure's going to try to make a move. Not quite yet, and that 87 holding on to the race lead with 2.5 laps to go. Christian Master, Carson Miller trying to close back in on the top 3. And then these guys still all in a line back in here. Of course, they are spread out a little bit more than they were earlier on in the race, but their opportunities of winning this race are out the window. Here we go. Graham's going to have another shot at reeling him back in. A great run off the exit of the corner right there. Romero got loose off the exit, and Gratton's going for it. He was looking, and then he files in back behind. Will he make the move going in the 1? He's peeking down. Romero's going a little higher into the corner right there. And he's going to get a better run through the exit of that corner. It's just so hard to make a pass here. Like you said, Matt, track position is very crucial here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway in these stock cars. And Gratton's really going to have one more shot to get this win if he's going to have an opportunity at it.
So if he's going to want to get this opportunity to get this victory, what he's going to want to do, he's going to keep peaking. I think he's going to keep peaking, but his ideal scenario, unironically, like real life, It's going to be lay back on the 05 a little bit, get a big run going down the back straightaway, and then try and get him to the inside of 3 on the final lap. That'll be his best opportunity. Romero opens up the gap a little bit coming here to the white flag, but you never know. With 2 cars tandeming together, anything can happen here in Indianapolis.
It is the white flag here in the Indy 200. Grattan's got one more lap to do it if he's going to have a shot at this Indy 200 race win. And McClure's going to have to help him if there's going to be any opportunity, and it's going to have to happen down the backstretch, but McClure's looking for second. Oh, he's going to stay behind him, though. Going to stay behind him. Will Grattan be able to close in down the backstretch enough to have any opportunity closing in on Juan Romero, or will Juan Romero get his 4th win of the season? Stewart's going to try one more shot, but I don't think he's going to have enough. The tires have just fallen off a bit too much. One more corner, and Juan Romero is going to get his 4th win of the season and his 1st win since the end of March. Juan Romero is going to win the Indy 200 here in the Herr Sprint Series. So close, yet so far away for Stuart Grattan in that 64.
It was close. It was close.
And Anthony McClure, however, will be in the Brickyard 400 on Saturday, his first Wawa Cup Series start. Christian Master will also be in that race, and so will Carson Miller in the 57. But Juan Romero is going to extend his championship lead as he finishes well ahead of Corey Case and Nathan Faden. And with only 6 races remaining, Juan Romero's opportunity at this Herr Sprint Series Championship just got a lot wider as we close in on the end of this season. Assuming how the signups will go, assuming these drivers retain a ride for next week's race at Road America, the 90 machine was driven by Matt Black. He's got the fastest time. Christian Master, the 13 of BB Ruiz with the 3rd quickest time. Dylan Matthews, and then the 80 of Joey Brown, or Joshua Brown, excuse me, the other Brown. Juan Romero held the 17th quickest lap, so he is not going to necessarily have a good starting position next week at Road America. Nathan Faden had 11th. But the downside for Faden is he is going to lose a ton of ground to Romero in the points. And, Matt, after what you saw in this one, how do you think Saturday's going to play out? Because you had the ratings in that race, and based on what we saw here today, do you think it's going to be difficult to make those passes once again?
Well, I think we saw last year let me phrase that. I mean, we see every time here at Indianapolis, it's a drafting, momentum, timing your run racetrack, regardless of what happens. Equal ratings, however it goes. That's usually the name of the game here with the stock cars. So I think you're going to see that again. I think you are definitely going to see that again Saturday. So qualifying will be extremely important. Pit road will be exponentially important. Nailing your in-laps, out-laps. All that stuff is going to be very important, and maybe having a teammate or 2 to work with you in the draft will definitely be extremely important.
It's going to be a fun race on Saturday. We also have the Elimination Series on Friday as well, for those of you who are still interested in that. So we're going to see another race play out before the Cup race here on the Speedway, but nothing tomorrow. I'm going to finally take a break tomorrow. We've done a lot of racing the past few days, but we do have signups going on right now for Road America, so go ahead and check that out. It's going to be a huge race on next Wednesday, I should say, because Juan Romero is going to be starting a little bit deeper in the field in comparison to Faden. And you know what? Faden may close it back in, but that's going to be a fascinating one on the road course. I think we got ourselves a 10-lap race there at Road America, I think. Either 10 or 8 laps. One of the two. There will be a cycle of pit stops for both that and Watkins Glen 2 weeks from now. So it's going to get very fascinating for the Sprint Series guys on the road courses. And then we close the season out at Richmond, Michigan, Daytona, and Darlington. So a lot can happen between now and the finish here for the Sprint Series and, of course, the Wawa Cup Series as well. But either way, thank you guys so much for watching. Congratulations to Juan Romero on his race victory here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. 4th win of the season. And I hope Stewart has a chance here these last 6 races. I really want to see him get it done. It was close here today, Just not enough for Stewart, and we'll have to see how it ends up working out the rest of the season. Here are the points for the Herr Sprint Series after 26 races, and on behalf of Matt Tuck, congratulations to Guadagnino on his race victory, and I will see you guys later.